there's your two setups. Spot the difference. Unless you really knew, you wouldn't notice that much, okay? But if we just say, no, this is your, I said you get on your tiptoes, you can see just by when you go forwards, in a second, there's your, there. Just that little, there. So that's good, okay? That's where you work at, okay? So making sure we get back to there. So we look at those positions here now. Once that club gets in a position there now, arms sort of hanging down over there. It's that smaller difference really. It's tiny amounts, okay? But by you feeling it and moving back and forth, when you did that move back onto your tiptoes and back on your, you must have felt quite a bit of movement there. In reality, it's tiny, okay? But what we're trying to do is get you to understand where the correct position is, where the incorrect position is, so you can identify that feeling. As I said, if someone just keeps telling you to go further back on your heels, back on your heels, back on your heels, at what point do you stop? You might start in the ball really well, go back on the heels. Then you might have a bad shot, back on the heels more. And it's some more good shots back on. You get to a point where you'll be so far back on your heels, you'll be falling against the wall, as I said, behind you. So it's only a small little adjustment into that position. That's kind of where we got you to. So you set up there, I said move forward, it's there. It's that tiny little movement there, okay? Barely moving, but as we know, barely changing that club position there makes a massive difference out there. And what we're trying to do is get you in a position where you can swing this golf club. We can swing the top of the back so nice and back. Now that club can start working back down in front. Lovely strike of the golf ball there now, and the lower half can release through, and we can maintain balance. Whereas before there was a little bit of issues with the balance, okay? And I think what's happened, possibly over the last maybe 10 shots or just a few games you played the last month or so, with balance being a bit of an issue, he's not moving as much as he used to move. But I think if you're ever fearful of, I'm topping forward, you're not going to want to move at all, are you? Your brain's going, I've got to try and keep everything grounded, stop falling over, and do whatever you can to try and maintain yourself in a vertical position. So your lower half movement will often sort of react and okay, right, we've got to stay flat on the ground, just not to move, okay? But if we can just find that position, so it's worth when you're on the range, just get yourself in a position, find that, and okay, right, just sort of rock back, where's good, where's bad, where's good, where's bad, okay? Get yourself in the, if you're on your tiptoes too much, you can see it probably more in terms of where your arms are moving in relative to that red cone there. How much sort of you move forward, not too fast, there to there, okay? And that's small, that's about a couple of inches of movement there, maybe a little bit more, a couple of inches down there. It's almost missing the ball or topping it or completely hitting the ground behind the ball and big miss it compared to a good strike. So just be aware of where that position is. Ideally we're looking for sort of your shoulders, as I said, to be sort of behind, just a bit more over, over your toe line there. You before just a little bit too far forward. Only a smidgen, okay? Mainly more so with your right foot, as you can see the gap there now with your right foot being further back, okay? Now you sort of sunk back a little bit more onto your heels. Your right shoulder now is over your right foot. The second you start putting your right shoulder too far from your right foot, your brain now thinks, hang on, we're going to start falling this way. And when you're trying to swing a golf club at 80 miles an hour, if your brain's thinking you're going to fall over, you're not going to be swinging the club, you're trying to stand up, aren't you? Or try and maintain a balanced position, okay?
You just don't feel that, do you?
No, exactly. And that's why I say it's always good for me to sort of show sort of where's good, where's bad, where's good, where's bad. There's good, there's bad. And it doesn't look that much. And if you saw, and the problem is if you saw that on TV, that's my say. If you try and mimic what you see on TV, sometimes you might go to that and you're in the right position. But if you're on your line there on your shoulder, come here. That's your shoulder line there. You're an inch or so further forward. It's only a small amount, but as we know, a small amount of impact there still makes a massive difference. And again, you've only got to be, if that inch is forward just a bit more, so the weight goes from sort of being here towards your toes, you then swing and go a little bit further forward as you were. Now you're really forward. And you've only got to move a little bit back and forth to sort of find a sort of tipping point. Once you find that tipping point, your body's in reacting to try and stay upright. So, make sense?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Right, have a couple more, don't we? And then we'll find see how they go from there. Okay.